We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
What's up with it, man? It's your boy Crook. You know how we rocking, man? Let's get into this video.
Joyce Watkins spent decades in prison for a crime she did not commit because of bad science. A former boyfriend, also wrongly convicted, died in prison.
What happened to Joyce Watkins and her boyfriend, Charlie Dunn, is scary because it could happen to anyone.
That shit could happen to just anybody, man. Man.
Hundreds of people have been convicted because of so-called forensic sciences that are later discredited. And as you will see in this case, it's an error that could take years or even a lifetime to correct. Late on the night of June 26, 1987, Joyce Watkins drove from her home in Tennessee to pick up her great niece, who had been staying with a relative in Kentucky for 2 months. Almost immediately, Watkins could tell something was wrong and took the child in the morning to the emergency room. The 4-year-old, seen here as she was transferred to Vanderbilt Medical Center in Nashville, was suffering from head and vaginal injuries and died a day later. Watkins and her boyfriend Charlie Dunn became suspects after an assistant medical examiner, visually observing the child's bruises, mistakenly determined that she had been injured during the 9 hours she was with the couple. In 2015, while still incarcerated, Charlie Dunn died of throat cancer. Later that year, after 27 years in prison, Watkins was released on parole. It took 35 years, and the unwavering faith of Joyce Watkins, now 74 years old. But in January of this year, the court finally got it right.
Ms. Watkins, this charge against you is dismissed. And to the family of Charlie Dunn, the charge against Charlie Dunn is dismissed.
Both Joyce Watkins and Charlie Dunn lost everything they had. Under Tennessee law, Joyce has to first apply for and then get a pardon from the governor to be eligible for any compensation. And there's likely nothing for the family of Charlie Dunn.
This gotta be one of the most bogus situations I ever fucking heard in my life. How is this even possible, man? Who let this happen, man? Like, man, what kind of asking these fucking questions, man? Can't just happen to anybody.